Hey guys, I'm just jumping on to talk ketones with you, and today's topic is how to start taking your ketones. So some of you maybe just got your packets in the mail, some of you are thinking about ordering, and maybe some of you have been taking ketones but still need a little more instruction. Basically, ketones, prove-it ketones, are a means to raise the ketone level in your blood in order to enter into a state of ketosis. And entering into the state of ketosis by bypassing the diet. So you do not have to eat that super high fat, moderate protein, and low carbohydrate diet for an extended period of time in order to experience that magnificent state of ketosis that we all want to be in so badly. Now we have a drink with 100% bioidentical molecules to the ones our body makes that will pretty much put us into ketosis in under an hour. So that's pretty awesome. But how to start is the big question, and it does depend person to person, but what I recommend is starting with half a packet before breakfast on an empty stomach. I've had it with food and without food. I prefer without just because the ketones have a very powerful effect on your hunger levels. So if you drink these before eating, you will likely not eat as much and possibly be able to extend your fast for a longer period of time. So that's the reason I like to drink my ketones before eating. Like I said, half a packet to start. Your system is switching from burning glucose for a very, very long time. When we were babies and drinking breast milk, we were actually already in ketosis. The moment we started eating peas and carrots and rice cereal, we became carbohydrate burners or glucose burners. And so kind of going back to our native state, but it's probably been a while, especially if you haven't dabbled in the keto diet before. So it's definitely introducing a superior source of fuel to your body, but it's different and you're not used to it. So take it slow with half a packet. You can take that half a packet once a day, or you can try half a packet in the morning, half a packet in the afternoon. If you're taking it in the afternoon, be aware that some of these are caffeinated. So if you're sensitive to caffeine, you might not want to take a caffeinated packet after like 1 o'clock maybe. I like to take my ketones in the morning around 8 or 9 a.m. Wait until I'm hungry, which might not be until about noon, so I get my fast in, and then drink my second serving around 2 or 3 o'clock when I start to feel that drop in energy and I want to kind of keep my energy going for the remainder of the day. The second thing I want to talk about that's really important when you start is stay hydrated. Being in ketosis is a slightly diuretic state, which means that you will be losing toxins, but along with toxins that come out of the cells are also water and electrolytes that are really important to the functioning of our whole body. And when you lose electrolytes and water, you don't feel so good. It could cause headaches, nausea, discomfort, kind of this like woozy, hungover feeling. So it's very important, they say, to drink at least half of your body's weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water or more. And it's not just water, because if you're just chugging water and not replenishing your electrolytes, you could kind of dilute yourself and not get the electrolytes you really need. So these are some examples of what I take. Mitoplex is an upgraded electrolyte that's sold by Prove-It. You can add it right to your water. You can just take it like a shot. You can add it to your keto net. And then these you can get from Amazon or Target. They're the Noon Tabs, and I love these too. I drink them every single day. So just make sure that you are upping your intake of water and electrolytes. Next, I want to talk about weight loss. So when you're drinking ketones, what's really amazing is you are actually going to be preserving muscle mass. So on a normal diet where you would restrict calories, your body would start to break down muscle for energy. In this situation, when you're drinking ketones, you're providing your body with its most optimal fuel source, and so it doesn't need to turn to the muscle to break it down. So you can go through a prolonged fast using ketones for energy instead of breaking down muscle. So that's pretty awesome. With that said, one thing to be aware of is something called the whoosh effect, and also body composition change. Muscle weighs more than fat. So as your body starts to use fat for fuel, you may not notice the changes that you want to see on the scale. on the scale though, which is just your relationship to gravity. However, you will start to notice changes in inches and body composition. So I like to say the best way to keep track is maybe to measure out certain parts of your body, try on that pair of jeans that is fitting a little bit tight, and do that as a comparison instead of having to step on the scale. The whoosh effect is a phenomenon where your body has fat cells, and it's had these fat cells for a long, long time. And just because you're starting to lose fat doesn't mean those fat cells are going to go away right away. The body is so smart. It's going to say, I'm going to hold on to these fat cells until I'm sure that this person does not need them any longer. So what happens is those fat cells actually fill with water. And you can have those fat cells filled with water for anywhere from a couple days to a week, but at some point your body's going to go, well, we've had these placeholders here for some time. They're not getting filled back up with fat, so let's let them go. And in a very short period of time, you might notice the number on the scale does change and the inches change quite significantly, and that is called the whoosh effect. So if you're finding that you're not getting the number on the scale that you had been shooting for, eliminate that from your goal setting and instead start to look at measurements and body composition, because you could be gaining muscle, especially if you're working out more because you're feeling more energetic, motivated, and energized to work out. And so you're gaining muscle, which weighs more, becoming more toned, and losing fat, which weighs less. So body composition change. On another note, don't chug your ketones. Drink them within the hour, but don't just throw them back because they're going to go right through you, especially in the beginning. It's very normal to have some GI upset, have to go to the bathroom and do number 2 or number 3. This is totally normal. So if it's happening to you, that's okay. One thing to be aware of is if you're taking in glucose but you're using ketones for energy, your body doesn't need to metabolize the glucose. So you might be putting glucose in your body, carbs in your body, but your body's not going to digest it and metabolize it. It's going to send it through and eliminate it most commonly through a bowel movement. And so your bowel movements may look a little unusual in the beginning, or at times if you're regularly drinking ketones, when you take in a lot of carbohydrates, you're going to have a movement that is interesting and different from what you're used to. Be aware of that. Don't freak out. It's totally normal. And lastly, I want to say, what is the 10-day challenge? So there's an offer out right now. It's a great deal. It's $99 for 20 packets. You get 5 different flavors. You get them in both caffeinated and non-caffeinated, and you get to basically sample all of these flavors. They usually throw in some special seasonal flavors as well. And you get to try all of these flavors and see which ones you like, so that when you decide to go buy your first official box, you know which flavor you're going to enjoy the most. And the idea behind this 20 packet box called the 10-day challenge is that you would be drinking 2 a day for 10 days. Prior, I said drink half a packet. So actually, in most cases with people that I work with, that 10-day trial will actually last more like 20 days in many cases. And it's case by case. Some people will drink, half a pack for a day or 2 and then up it their 3rd day and feel great on a full packet. And some people, for the most optimal use of these ketones, 2 a day, full packet servings. But you don't want to force it or rush it. Take it nice and slow. I hope that I've answered some questions for you on how to start drinking your ketones. If you have any further questions, reach out to me, and thank you all.